And now at 5, getting more officers on Indy's streets. The agency ready to help IMPD if they're asked.
And some weather changes finally coming to central Indiana. We have 2 fronts on the way, both with rain chances. We'll let you know how much to expect.
Playoff bound when you can get your tickets for the Fever's return to the WNBA playoffs. Live from Indy, you're watching 13 News.
If Chris Bailey calls me and said, I need your help, we're coming.
The state's top cop says state troopers are ready to patrol Indianapolis streets if the IMPD chief asks for support. Good evening, I'm Dustin Grove in for Anne Marie Tiernan.
And I'm Felicia Lawrence, and we begin tonight at 5 with efforts to address the shortage of Metro police officers.
This ongoing issue is putting a strain on the force and its response to incidents across Indianapolis.
So today, the Indiana State Police Superintendent told our Rich Nye that his troopers can help.
Indianapolis Metropolitan Police faces an historic shortage of 300 officers. The police union is calling for higher pay, better schedules, and state troopers filling city patrol shifts.
IMPD's tired, guys. They're tired. They're very tired. And if we can support them in some way to give them a little bit of relief, we'll always do that.
They know what's at stake here. It's our capital city, folks. They know what's at stake. Quite frankly, they have made clear through their Troopers Alliance that they are just as frustrated and disillusioned as our IMPD officers are as to what's going on in this city.
Indiana State Police has its own staff shortage. More than 150 state trooper positions currently unfilled. But Superintendent Carter says state police can and will assist IMPD patrols if asked.
We all are hurting for people, but we can get a lot of people here into the city in a relatively short period of time. The challenge comes when we try and sustain that, because we're going to have to pull people from other parts of the state.
Metro Police Chief Chris Bailey says his staffing problem has not reached that point yet, but state police are on standby.
That's going to depend on decisions made by bad people. So the answer is yes, if those decisions continue to be made. There's so much instability everywhere right now, and if we can help bring a little bit of balance to this, we absolutely will.
Carter says no formal agreement with IMPD is needed, and his troopers can step in quickly to supplement city patrols on a short-term basis. In Indianapolis, Rich Nye, 13 News.
And the Indy FOP proposal is called Operation Firewall. It also calls for a new fee on event tickets to pay for the policing of the Indy 500, Colts games, Pacers games, conventions, and concerts.
Tonight, we're learning 4 people, including a juvenile, are under arrest accused of shooting at a Metro Police detective's squad car. The shooting happened last Wednesday near East 16th and North Sherman Drive when police say an officer tried to stop a car to serve a warrant. Somebody in the suspect's car then fired at the squad car, and Metro Police tell us they arrested a 32-year-old man and a 19-year-old man for attempted murder and criminal recklessness while serving warrants across the city yesterday. A 21-year-old man and a juvenile who were already in jail are now also accused of the same charges in the crime.
Well, tonight, the Marion County coroner is identifying a woman killed in a hit and run. 30-year-old Alexandra Leal died in the crash on the west side of Indianapolis.
And now police are searching for the driver who left her to die. Our Marina Silva learned Leal isn't the first person killed in a crash there.
I'm here at the intersection of Lyndhurst Drive and Kelly Street. This is where the woman was hit. I'm told she was hit back there and was hit so hard that she flew to over here.
Witnesses say she was picking something up in the roadway when another car hit her. That driver did not stop. 13 News learned this is not the first time a fatal accident has happened here. In 2023, William Ayala was also hit. He was on a motorcycle. After that crash, there were recommendations made to add stop signs to Lyndhurst Drive. More than a year later, there are no stop signs on Lyndhurst. Eric Colt, the founder of Indy Pedestrian Safety Crisis, says it's infuriating.
So it's just really disappointing to see that sort of behavior out of drivers. driving is a responsibility, and we really need people out there to treat it as such.
13 News spotted cameras in the area. IMPD tells us they are license plate readers. However, they cannot confirm if the ones monitored by Metro Police or another policing agency. Right now, police tell us they have yet to find the suspected driver. Reporting in Indianapolis, Marina Silva, 13 News.
And Metro Police want to hear from you. If you know anything about this crash, you can call Crime Stoppers at 262-TIPS. And a reminder, you do not have to give your name when you make that call.
After-school practices and activities are back on tonight for Mooresville schools.
And now we're learning the reason the district decided to make today an e-learning day. Turns out the Morgan County Sheriff's Office did some overnight training at the high school, and they accidentally left behind an item which a member of the school custodial staff found this morning.
So the district then decided to call off in-person classes today, saying they do not regret the decision, just to keep everyone safe.
All right, let's take a live look outside on this Thursday afternoon. Another hot and dry day across central Indiana. Matt Standridge, how hot did we get?
Well, we just officially hit 90 degrees in Indianapolis.
Ooh.
That's not the hottest location. You go south to Shelbyville, home of the Golden Bears. They may be looking a little bit more golden today. They're at 93 degrees right now. It's 89 in Wayne County and 89 in Greencastle. It is toasty. We should be in the upper 70s, not here touching 90 degrees. We do have some weather changes on the way. Two fronts. The first front comes in tomorrow. It's the weaker one. It could give us a couple light showers west of Indy in the morning. Maybe a few more pop-ups later in the afternoon and evening. Something that we'll have to watch for a lot of the football games tomorrow evening, but they're going to be very hit or miss. Not everyone's going to get one. In fact, I'd say most of us will not get one. We'll be a little bit more unsettled today. Haven't had a rain chance in a while, so it's something nice to track that's different. When you go westbound, though, a much more powerful low is developing there in the Central Valley, California. This comes in for Sunday for us. That gives us a much better chance for scattered showers and thunderstorms. We are dry this evening. We got some junior high football games. Should be just fine. It's a little bit toasty out there. But coming up for tomorrow, we've got better chances for rain, especially there from 5 to 11 o'clock with a couple downpours here and there. We need it. We need about 3 to 4 inches of rain. We're going to let you know how much rain we think could be coming over the next few days.
All right, will be interesting to know, Matt. Thank you. And tonight, new information about what might have led to that massive Medicaid budget shortfall.
And how it may have been prevented in the first place. A federal whistleblower lawsuit was just unsealed that provides insight into FSSA's announcement last December of a nearly $1 billion deficit.
So that shortfall meant cutting services to some of the most vulnerable Hoosiers. We've got Emily Longnecker here, and she covered the fallout. And today, Emily, you actually spent all day digging through these accusations. What did you find?
Well, this lawsuit, folks, has hundreds and hundreds of pages to it, okay? It basically claims that several insurance companies and hospital systems defrauded the state's Medicaid program through billing and claims that went against the program's rules.
The whistleblowers named in the lawsuit are 2 former state employees. According to court documents, they filed their lawsuit in 2021, but it just recently was unsealed. One of the former employees claims he worked closely with a contractor to look for fraud and warn hospitals and insurance companies when improper billing and claims were found. That former employee says in 2017, state Medicaid officials told him to cut back on working with that contractor to, quote, recoup improper Medicaid overpayments. The lawsuit accuses those Medicaid officials of, quote, bowing to political pressure exerted by the health insurers and the hospital's lobby. All this comes about a year after the state announced a nearly $1 billion Medicaid budget shortfall. The state blamed that shortfall on how families of medically complex children got reimbursed for care. Those families were paid hourly, so the state changed them to a daily rate to cut costs.
Protect our kids!
Hundreds of families rallied at the State House last year, protesting the changes and calling for more state accountability.
We've been told that it's on all of us to make sure that we are playing by the rules when it comes to Medicaid. And it's a little bit hard to swallow as a parent when it feels like allegedly families are not being held, we're being held to a different amount of accountability and responsibility than what these large insurance companies and hospital systems are.
That accountability now seems even more important to some of those parents in light of this whistleblower lawsuit.
Yeah, and this lawsuit is accusing some of the biggest hospital networks and insurance companies around. I reached out to each of them today, and we'll tell you what they had to say tonight at 6.
Okay, look forward to your story at 6, Emily. Thank you.
And also developing tonight, we're working to learn more about an FBI investigation at the Ray Hall Letterman Lanigan headquarters in Zionsville.
Racer.com reports the investigation is centered around a suspected intellectual property transfer from a former Andretti Global IndyCar team worker who is now on the RLL team. We reached out to Andretti Global but have not heard back from them yet.
Ray Hall Letterman Lanigan says it is cooperating with this investigation. We actually put the full statement they sent us yesterday in this story. It's on WTHR.com. Check it out.
It's a big night for the Indiana Fever. They're just hours away now from finding out which team they'll take on in the playoffs.
Yes, but they have got to get in their final regular season game first. And you can watch it right here on Channel 13, your local TV home of the Indiana Fever.
Game starts at 7, which means some of your favorite shows like Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, they're going to move to WALV tonight, which is channel 13.3. We've also placed the programming changes and where you can find it at WTHR.com/fever.